Good evening, Mayor and Council. It is now 7 p.m. and we are live online. All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Let's stand and do a pledge of allegiance. There's a flag behind you against the wall. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And let's do a roll call. I see Councilmember Rhodes, Councilmember Demansky, Councilmember Grant, and then on my right, Councilmembers Wake, Weatherby, and Mansfield. And this is the Mayor, Kiriakou. I see the City Administrator, Chris White. Do we have someone from the Attorney's Office online?
You do, Mayor. Good evening. Nick Ward-Willis.
Hey, Nick. How are you? Thank you for joining us. Okay, so the first order of business is a community segment. This community segment will be honoring Beacon High School and the Max Born Gymnasium Foreign Exchange Student Program. So before I turn it over to Sebastian, I just want to say we've done this several years in a row, and I think it's one of, if I speak for the whole council, one of our favorite meetings, and we're very happy to have you all here. And Sebastian.
So can you hear me, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Tell everyone your name.
Pardon me?
Tell everyone your name.
My name is Sebastian Hess. I'm the teacher. I'm one of the chaperones, who is here to actually make sure our students behave well. No, to make this all running. And first of all, I want to say thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council, for giving us the chance to meet you again here and all. Also on behalf of the whole city of Germering and the Max Born Gymnasium, thank you very much for having us again. It's a pleasure to be here. Beacon feels like home. I said it before, I say it again. And when we speak about homes, I want to say special thanks to all the parents this year who host and who make this program actually happen. Without you, it would be impossible, and we're really, really grateful to have you. And it's not something we take for granted that so many people are actually willing to host students for 2 weeks, and this is really wonderful. Without your hospitality, without your kindness and your generosity, it wouldn't be possible. So thank you very much to all the parents. And I know this is a place for politics here, but since you know politics, or talking about politics, has become quite a challenge lately, I want to keep this really short and simple. I do believe that a program like that can actually contribute to politics and decision-making in the future, since I consider these kids ambassadors for our nations. And I don't want to live in the world without the friendship between the American people and the German people, without those two great nations. And I think we can overcome any problem in the world if we work together. And so I'm proud of you kids, okay? I'm really hopeful that you can make the world a better place someday, and I don't think that there's a better chance to do that than having a program like that. So thank you very much, and thank you everyone here at Beacon, and I can't wait to send the next kids and the next kids and the next kids to make this an everlasting tradition between our two great cities. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sebastian. You know, I just want to say before I read this proclamation that to echo Sebastian's thoughts, that we will rely on you as you grow and come into adulthood to make the world a better place, right? Because each of us hopefully will do a little bit in that direction. And there's lots of reasons to worry, but we will rely on you, and we are very hopeful and trusting. All right, let me read a proclamation, and then we'll do pictures and hand them out. So this is a proclamation in honor of foreign exchange students from Beacon High School and Max Born Gymnasium. Whereas students from Beacon High School and Max Born Gymnasium in Germering, Germany, are participating in a joint foreign exchange student program, which will take place in October of 2025, November, and June 2026. But you've already started in October. There you go. And whereas visiting students and faculty are currently visiting from Max Born Gymnasium, marking the 4th straight year of this incredible educational and cultural partnership. And whereas the City of Beacon families have volunteered to host these visiting students and teachers for the weeks they will be spending in Beacon, and whereas the Parent-Teacher-Student Organization of Beacon High School has coordinated experiences for participating students, which will undoubtedly demonstrate what makes the Hudson Valley and Bavaria such special places. And whereas travel is one of the very best forms of education, is an important way to gain world perspective beyond that which we can offer in our own communities. Now, therefore, as mayor, I do issue this proclamation in honor of all the participating students in this and previous year's exchanges, while wishing each of them a wonderful and transformative experience as they make an important connection between our two cities and countries during a time where global geopolitical cooperation and partnership are more important than ever. Signed, Lee Kyriakou, Mayor, on this day, November 3rd, 2025. Thank you. All right. My German-speaking councilwoman has said I should also say danke. In Greek, it would be efcharisto, right? Which is the language I'm more familiar with. Okay, what next? Pictures? Yeah. All right. Can we get everyone up here? Okay. And then I'm going to hand these to you. I'm going to bring these to the podium, Sebastian. All right. And what do we want to do with the council? Should we stand? Do we need to be on the wings?
Kind of so we can see it.
Yeah. Stand on the table. Tall, right?
Yeah.
You could probably get on the table.
Yeah.
We usually hover around the wings.
We could
All right.
do,
All the
like,
tall ones come to the back. Yeah. No. Right here is good. All right.
Hi. Nice to see you again.
All right. Tall in the back. Tall in the back. Right. And up to about here.
Sure.
And you guys can join in.
It's a big group. I know, it was like you could do like cheerleading moves and like, you know, it could go down and stand on our backs.
Alright, Chase, gaze on the side.
Yeah, you could come up here after time where I am.
In the front of it, 'cause
Sorry.
you're get on my tippy toes.
How are you? Are you in this program? Are you going to Germany? Yeah.
This is where we need a balcony. Have a look this way.
No alcohol.
Found that out. Yo, Gavin.
We need a balcony.
I said go.
So you're studying German?
was thinking it was going to be on the phone. And I looked. Or no, maybe it was like
You like to donate that terrible day with little labor.
it was the next day. It was the next day. But, it doesn't happen that often.
Right.
This is how things go.
I guess
It's an unpaid
roughly every
internship.
7 years.
Not all of these kids in Germany.
Yes.
They can stay. They actually have switched. They can do this. So
Yesterday, the trick or treating with the grandkids.
I'll be the same.
So like I was hoping there Saturday.
Okay. They do a fair.
It's they coffee lunch and they
Yes.
Yeah.
They used to have a lot more like years ago.
And then I don't know who. Usually there's a high school teacher. Maybe it's
Time for your
the
honeymoon and the
the guy
It's like
who was taking a picture. Usually there's
doing lunch like
I don't know if it's close.
during the day.
Yeah.
She has, but then there's
I mean, I imagine it's
teacher at
nice
the
to
Beacon High
like
School who's like
have a place to take
responsible.
your kids. They're all
Kelly's detached herself from it.
Yeah, you should get kids. Like my granddaughter's gonna have to work too. She got last year.
That been like 4 days thing at boys.
So it's fun. I mean, it's a nice time, like fellowship and stuff.
She's like, get out of my way.
I feel like we need that scene from the Blues Brothers when they're playing Rawhide. Like, you don't have to go home, but you can stay here.
I don't know. They're welcome to stay if they want to participate.
March, April, the kids
I saw that.
Did you see
I'm
like
in the group
Lisa's?
chat.
Oh, you were in the thing.
Yeah.
July.
It doesn't really mean anything to me. It's like they're going to be able
Oh,
to
yeah,
watch
I know.
this that says their strategies.
I did talk to somebody.
One of my,
It's not like he's
one of my mental stuff was a teacher of big Steve's travel.
still in
And they had a great
the
one about
mix.
France. And
Because
there was things like they do a
I
comparison of
said
North and
something.
South France. And they were talking about the difference in food style and culture and warmth. And they were saying fashion was such a distinction. But this woman like from Paris area was like, you read like she's like complaining how it's like falling apart.
Globalized.
I mean, I don't
So I'm wondering if that same thing's affected all of Europe now.
Style is
Okay, we're going to start up now.
All Americanized.
So the next thing after the community segment is public comment. So this is the first opportunity for public comment. You can comment on anything except our public hearings. The hearings that we have today on the R1 zoning, so there's a zoning change. If you want to speak on that, just wait. Also on the proposed budget, if you want to speak on that, just wait. There is also one concerning zoning around the train station, although that will be adjourned until the next meeting. So the two that you should reserve your comments on is the changes in zoning in the R15 residential zone and then the budget hearing. Otherwise, if you have a comment, this would be the time to do it. I have a list that we start with, and it's Katie Helmuth. Come on up.
Hello, Katie Helmuth, Ward 1, here to lend my support for the bike study to learn recommendations on how to align safety with cars, pedestrians, and bikes. On the street are adults biking to the grocery store, to go shopping, to go to the park. On the streets are kids of all ages biking to 6 different schools. The rail trail seems very, very, very different from this. This is cycling, this is getting from point A to point B. The rail trail is a nature, it's a good experience, but something completely different. Through these routes are crosswalks that we know are very dangerous for many pedestrians, cars, or bikers. The crosswalk at South Avenue and Main Street is dangerous for everyone, and we have heard from that crossing guard, Carmen, that she has had to pull kids out of the way that she's helping cross the road. As she's crossing, she has to pull them from cars who don't see or choose to accelerate. The new temporary crosswalk on Fishkill Avenue at Blackburn, or Ron's Ice Cream, is a new safety hazard with the 3rd lane. I have crossed the street on my bike and on foot, and both times cars in the 3rd lane do not see me. I noticed a senior citizen who was shorter than me, maybe 5'2", attempt to cross. She slowly ventured out, but the cars were not stopping, so I joined her in step. I'm about 5'8.5", and the cars saw my head and stopped. As we are doing so much infrastructure updates with paving and much-needed new sidewalks and sidewalk extensions up Fishkill Avenue and Route 52, it makes no sense to me why the mayor is resisting this bike study. I have seen the mayor on his bike on Main Street. He wears his glasses and his helmet and looks very safe. We want to keep him safe with an official study of how to incorporate bikes into our streets. I would like the recommendations of that study to be discussed and considered implemented as we are paving new streets and sidewalks. As for housing, there are more reasons why people are not able to live here. Several of my friends, several single mom friends come to mind who have moved out or are struggling to make rent under their rents that are being raised constantly because there's no rent regulation. Like those at Hudson View Apartments and at Vista Point, families are getting priced out. She has 3 jobs and she can't do it, and she works for the city of Beacon. I want to know why Beacon has not spoken on the new legislation that would push back the block on why Beacon could have rent control. The age of the buildings has been the issue that we've heard about many times. We've been educated on it, and the legislation is being discussed to push that. Please push for that so that rent control can happen in Beacon. As for the Newburgh-Beacon ferry that was canceled, I want to know why no elected official that I've seen, maybe I missed it, from Beacon has spoken out about this. I saw Councilperson Molly Rhodes attend the rally in Beacon, but I didn't hear anyone speak except for
15 seconds.
Yvette. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Teresa Kraft.
It's great to see all those kids out here tonight. I want to express my gratitude to our fire chief for his excellent rescue on Route 84 and his daily supervision of our community. He is a true professional. I'll keep my comments brief. I want to address last week's workshop. Calling it cringeworthy is an understatement. It was an abuse of power. Members of this council are becoming agitated and borderline disrespectful. It's important to remember that you are elected and appointed to represent the entire community of Beacon, not just your side of the aisle or your isolated ward districts. I believe the hostility arose because some members appeared to have one foot out the door, showing no real stake in the outcome. It was disheartening to hear someone say that they would leave it to the next council members to figure it out. You dropped the ball while merely passing it down the sidelines. You've never really been there. In recent years, the city has had several committees that brought important issues and solutions to the table. Unfortunately, many educated suggestions went unimplemented and often faded into obscurity. The committee reports is well documented. For instance, the Main Street Access Committee addressed many of tonight's topics, including public safety, road safety, green spaces, parking, bike lanes, traffic enforcement, and the development of the riverfront and Main Street, among others. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dan Vatsky.
Dan Vatsky in Ward 1, Beacon, and I'm a member of the Beacon Bicycle Coalition. In last week's meeting, several 2026 budget priorities were discussed. A sidewalk study, Beacon Street redesign, full-time firefighter salary, and a bicycle master plan. Oh yeah, also the rail trail was discussed. All these are worthy goals. They shouldn't be presented as competing with one another. With a $30 million annual budget, we should approach these priorities with a mindset of abundance. It's worth remembering that Main Street sidewalks and crosswalks were redesigned just 5 years ago. The fire department received a new station last year. Meanwhile, every comprehensive plan for the past 20 years has identified the need for cycling infrastructure. Yet there's been almost no investment or progress. The 1,000+ residents who signed our petition aren't asking to be in the queue. We're asking to finally get this done. What's proposed for Beekman Street is not a substitute for a bicycle master plan. As a frequent Metro North commuter and cyclist, I question the benefits of a plan that is 75% reliant on painted sharrows. It will do nothing to improve safety on trips headed toward the train station, which is where I witness the most reckless drivers speeding to make their trains. The larger problem with adding bike lanes on Beekman is that it's a bridge to nowhere without a comprehensive bicycle study. The only buffered bike lanes in the plan route cyclists northbound towards Main Street, but the welcome mat ends after a half a mile, right here. What does this project do to improve Beacon's cycling experience past the first 5 minutes of their arrival? A master plan would help answer that question. There's confusion between the city and the county about what kind of study is being funded. Beacon Bicycle Coalition members have visited county transportation meetings and spoken to officials about this. Dutchess County said they would work with Beacon on both bike and pedestrian plans. The The insistence on doing them separately will create redundant administrative overhead and creates real risk of missing the chance to include these findings in the 2027 Beacon Comprehensive Plan. City has said doing both a sidewalk and a bike study would take too much administrative time. We can find ways to work around our limitations. Last year, $75,000 was allocated partially for mobility studies, still waiting to be used. If we assign those funds and combine the sidewalk and bike plans, we can finally get both of them done efficiently and together. It's not a big ticket item for this city. The money can be found if the will is there. A relatively small investment now in a combined study would make every future project safer, smarter, and more cost-effective. Without it, we'll keep repeating the same mistakes we've seen on Fishkill Avenue, rushing to use external funding with outdated plans and ending up with unsafe results. Beacon should insist on a better approach, and a bicycle master plan would be a start. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sergey Krasikov.
Good evening, Sergey Krasikov, Ward 3. First, I want to express my support for the proposal to amend the budget to help fund emergency food assistance, really needed, so thank you. I also highly recommend for everyone to listen to the joint planning board and city council session on October 15, where we discussed bulk and overdevelopment, and some interesting nuggets can come out of that discussion. But I also want to talk about the last week, the city council workshop. First, I want to ask not to conflate the ask for bike lanes on Fishkill Avenue with the ask for bike pedestrian and bike master plan, very different things. During Fishkill Avenue discussions, our city planner Natalie Quinn said, and I am paraphrasing, that you can design and build the streets to conform to the current users, or you can envision how you want to change the behaviors in users and design to attract that. I cannot agree more. It is true, we do not have tons and tons of people on bicycles, partially because of safety. Statistics from other towns show that if you build safe infrastructure, ridership increases 20, 50, sometimes over 150% based on NETCA studies. With continuing construction of new units and elimination of parking minimums, safe biking infrastructure is one of the tools we have to reduce the amount of cars on the streets and also to ease parking pressure. There was a lot of talk about priorities and queues, and as was stated previously, this has been in the queue for many years. The mayor has publicly stated that it makes sense to have the bike plan done as part of 2027 comprehensive plan update. We also heard that it's not going to cut the 2026 priority list. So how do we reconcile the stated intention, time crunch, and admin capacity? The bike plan will take a good half a year to accomplish. And one advice I got from the former mayor, Steve Gold, is not to conflate the pressure from a small group of well-organized activists with a broad community request. While on that side of the table, it might feel that what Beacon Bicycle Coalition is doing and others is that pressure campaign by a small, well-organized group, but I can attest that this is actually channeling very broad community support. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I don't have anyone else on the written list. If someone would like to make a comment, this would be the right time. Would you like to come speak? No, you can talk and say something. This is generally not. Sometimes what we... So come into the city hall and you can do it that way, or make an appointment and we can do it that way.
I work from 6 to 6. All right, this is the deal.
Yeah.
Okay, I live on...
Tell us your name.
Bill McTier.
And yeah, use the mic, Bill.
Bill McTier. I live on Victor Road. Okay, you know where that is?
Yep.
Why would you guys mill out Jordan Road and Irish Circle and leave Victor and not mill that down and pave it? It makes no sense at all, because if you know the neighborhood at all, every idiot in the world comes flying down Jordan to go to the back and all the way up in Iris. Why'd you mill those two roads and leave that one not done? And if you look at the intersection where Jordan meets Victor, it's all chewed up. So you're gonna put brand new asphalt next to something that's all destroyed. At least somebody should drive down Jordan Road and take a look at it.
Okay.
It makes no sense.
Lee, I'd be happy to answer that. That's really easy.
Okay, go for it.
We didn't do Victor because we needed somewhere for the people in the neighborhood to park. So we'll be doing Victor next year.
Wait, what was your question?
I'm not here to debate you, I'm answering you. So I'm just saying, the reason Victor wasn't done was a very clear decision by our superintendent of streets that we needed somewhere for the neighbors to park during the time that we paved those other two roads, Iris and Jordan.
The cost effectiveness of a...
No, it's not, again,
So it's
this
all right.
isn't a debate, sir.
yeah.
I'm just telling,
Let's-
you
let's-
asked for an answer,
Okay.
and I'm
Okay,
giving
well,
you
I
an
appreciate
answer.
the answer, but it makes
Well,
no
the-
sense. If you have a million
No, it does make
machines-
sense,
Okay.
because
So hang on.
we
Do you
do
wanna finish
a
your-
round of paving every year.
Okay, number two, what does that Beacon Loop bus cost? The bus is empty. I can understand early in the morning, going to the train and stuff, and maybe in the evening, but most of the time the bus is empty at 9, 10 o'clock at night. And it drives, I hate to see what money that costs. What's it, $100 an hour? It's $86,000 a year for times the hours. That's a little bit crazy, but do what you want. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. If you do want to follow up, you can just come to City Hall, all right? Anyone else want to make a comment? So anyone online? Ben?
If you're on Zoom and you'd like to make a public comment this evening, please use the raise hand option at the bottom of your screen. If you're joining by phone, you will need to press *9. Lastly, if you're tuning in from YouTube, you'll need to join the Zoom link instead by going to beaconny.gov, navigating to our community calendar, and clicking the link there. And as of now, right now, Mayor, we have no hands raised on Zoom.
Okay. Let's do our public hearings. So the first one, I'm going to open the public hearing on a local law which is adjusting the zoning in the R15 district. That is a single-family residential, 5,000 square foot minimum lot size. Nick, you want to tell us some more about what the changes are in those areas and where they approximately are?
I will. Thank you, Mayor. So in the agenda packet is the local law and some supporting materials. Briefly, the proposed local law amends the city's schedule of permitted uses as well as the zoning text for the R1-5 zoning district in a specific limited area to allow one-family attached, semi-attached dwelling townhouses, two-family dwellings, and artist-live workspaces in a limited portion. So it's only those properties that are allowed in a close proximities to the CMS zoning district, and that's defined in the local law, and we've discussed that. Generally, it's the area that is located north of Rondout Avenue, south of Verplank, east of South Avenue, and west of the Fishkill-Teller Avenue. And then there's some language specific to that area. The council received comments from the city planning board with some substantive comments, and the county planning board said it was a matter of local concern. At the last workshop, the city council discussed the planning board's comments and agreed that subsection 2 on page 2 of a local law should be revised to clarify, and it's the highlighted language in the local law in the agenda packet, that the council is allowing reconstruction of multifamily buildings or two-family dwellings to be rebuilt if they're completely destroyed within this district, but only if they are rebuilt with the exact same number of dwelling units and bedrooms as existed before the destruction. The intent being that the goal here is to preserve housing units so that if a house does get destroyed and would not otherwise be permitted to be reconstructed, it can be reconstructed, but it has to be reconstructed with the same number of dwelling units and bedrooms as existed beforehand. And Mayor, the public hearing was continued to tonight, and the council could consider closing the hearing tonight if they wish to do so.
Great. The only thing I would add before we open it up to any comments is just historically, this area on either side of Main Street was zoned single family, was built largely single family. Then in the 60s, 70s, 80s was rezoned on the assumption of urban renewal in that area, and it was zoned denser. And as a result of that change, a number of two families or homes were converted into multifamily, sprouted up. The council, and I was there at the time, undid that zoning and put it back to single-family, the issue we have discovered is that there's a number of pre-existing 2s and 3s and some small apartments that exist. So a lot of this law is merely taking those pre-existing to make them legal under this zoning. Did I get that right, Nick?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. Let me open up the public hearing. Those on the list, I've got Teresa Kraft.
That was a big packet. I'm okay with the revision of number 2 to reconstruct a damaged dwelling, a fire, etc. And after this zoning change, I hope that we can urge the city to pause on any further approvals and changes in our residential districts, Main Street and near the train station. Please refrain from adding more large developments to our small city, which is already bursting at the seams. It's essential for the city to implement a building moratorium until the new comprehensive plan is updated, reviewed, and approved and endorsed by all the residents of Beacon. We have evidence of what works and what does not, and making new zoning changes in addition to tonight's puts the cart before the horse. Please put in a moratorium. Thank you.
Thank you. Sergey Krasikov.
Good evening again, Sergey Krasikov, Ward 3. I want to express my support for these residential uses changes in R15 zoning district. My main concern there is protecting especially owner-occupied multifamily homes. I have met some people, not in this particular zone, but in other parts of Beacon, who purchase multifamily home explicitly as a way to finance their life in Beacon, and being non-compliant and having the building destroyed by fire, not having ability to rebuild it back the way it was as a multifamily unit, and losing the income might make these people leave Beacon, not be able to stay in Beacon. So I assume some of this is probably true in this particular area as well. I also like that it incrementally increases density and supply of housing units. Some of them might come out to be luxury, but given small lot sizes and older buildings, probably many of them will be more on the affordable side. I also like that it increases the office and makerspace availability. That's something that, as locally employed person, I really appreciate, and I think more is needed, and that's one of the concerns I hear from people on my canvassing trails. The 248 Aronda 100 building shows there is a problem with large-scale office spacing, and that ship might have sailed on large office spaces, but there's definitely need for smaller, more flexible units, and I think that really helps. I would also be interested in the future to revisit legalizing non-conforming multifamily houses in other zones to protect the homeowners, especially if they're homeowner-occupied units. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else in the physical audience? Ben, anyone online?
No one online.
Okay.
Motion to close the public hearing.
All right.
Second.
Second. All right. All in favor of closing the public hearing on the R15 zoning changes, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay. I'm going to open the second hearing, which is on the budget. So this is on the 2026 proposed budget. That's the mayor's budget. There isn't much more to say. Let's just open it up. Nick, anything we want to add to it? I don't think so, right?
No, Mayor, there's nothing. This is being duly noticed in the newspaper, and the council has workshopped it on 3 occasions.
Okay. With that open, I've got Teresa Kraft.
Fighting the crowds here. I wish the kids had stayed. I was fortunate to attend the presentation meetings and heard the sideline conversations in the room that are not always reflected in a newspaper recap or on the video. I support the approval of the budgets proposed by the department heads. It is encouraging to see our city managed by such dedicated professionals and team players. I hope you approve the budgets. Thank you.
Thank you. And Sergey Krasikov. Come on up.
Hello again. I hope there would be a little more people, so it's not the same people speaking, but so Sergei Krasik, Ward 3. First, I want to thank the council and the mayor for the diligent work of the fiscal stewardship of our city. I also want to thank the administration for the clear and succinct presentations by the department heads. They really explain how our city functions and help us understand how and why we spend the money. One concern I do have is that the current budget doesn't allocate resources towards creating systems to address housing needs. I'm looking forward to the new job description for Ben and more details on possible rec department role. And if we do determine a gap either in in-house knowledge or admin capacity to meet community housing needs, I'd like to consider using some of the city council planning $75,000 to seek targeted expertise, perhaps as a consultant to advise us on inclusionary zoning in the course of 2027 comprehensive plan update, and this way to kind of help us bridge and get to some decisions. Something that I heard from the housing directors in Hudson is their role in comprehensive plan updates and reworking the zoning. Now, they not necessarily were the experts in the field, but as I understand, they contributed quite a bit. And that's kind of like one-time contribution that can help steer the city for the next 10 years in terms of affordability. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ben, anyone online?
No hands raised on Zoom.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to...
Can I ask a clarifying question first before, I mean, someone still make a motion. What's our timeline for wanting to pass the budget? I think we have to do it before the end of the year. I'm just wondering if it's worth keeping it open for another time, just because, you know, usually we don't close it after. I know there were only 2 comments tonight, and so one might think we should close it, but just leaving it open in case others want to make comments. I'm just curious. I don't know if I have to make a motion before we talk about that. I guess, Nick, you can clarify that.
So the budget is required to be adopted by the end of the year. With respect to making the motion, you're having the discussion now. I think that's perfectly fine because that will shape what motion you're making.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just curious if others have an opinion one way or the other.
Yeah, I would like to make a motion, I guess, to adjourn the public hearing to November 17th, in part to allow the public to another opportunity to speak on this topic if they would like to, but primarily because I think there are some items that we didn't finish discussing in our last workshop about the budget that I would like to keep discussing in our next workshop.
All right, there's a motion.
A second.
All right, there's the second. Nick, I have a question, which is, I don't think there's anything that I've heard so far regarding the budget I don't think is significant enough to require some sort of extended public hearing. Is that right?
That is correct, not required in the law, and I don't recall it as being a discussion that would mandate it or require it, yes.
Okay. So I don't think it's required, but I hear the comments of folks, and I'm happy to hear what other people think. Right? I don't think it precludes us from any of the changes that have been discussed, right, along the way.
Yeah, I'm also open to keeping it open to give people more time to comment on it. I think it sends the right message that there's an inclusive opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So all in favor of continuing the public hearing on the budget to November 17th, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay. So that's done. And then the last one is I'm looking for a motion to adjourn the public hearing regarding the train station district, formerly or currently called the Waterfront Development District, also to November 17th.
Motion.
So that's Amber.
Second.
And Molly. Any discussion?
The only thing I wanted to mention, just before I forget, and we can talk about it in workshop, this isn't overly critical. I got some good feedback, and I think we heard this from the planning board too, about instead of calling it the train station district, call it something like the transit zone, or, you know, some kind of name that's a little bit more inclusive of the activities that would go on at the waterfront. So I just wanted to get that out there publicly so I don't forget, and we can chat about it in workshop at some point. after we have the public hearing.
Yeah, and for clarity, I guess from you, Nick, are we waiting on our planning board to weigh in? Is that why we're adjourning this meeting, or this public
That
hearing?
is correct, yes. The planning board has requested more time, and so the meeting of the 17th will occur after the planning board's November meeting, allowing the council to consider it and continue the hearing.
Great, thank you.
I'll just name, because I think I missed the workshop where this was workshop, but I am interested in looking at the feedback we received about including the, oh my goodness, I'm blanking on the name of which trail.
The Greenway?
The Greenway Trail, thank you, and codifying it as part of our zoning in this local law.
All right. Anything else before we vote? So my only comment would be, actually, the things that we're interested in aren't the transit in this district, but the other things. But we'll figure out an appropriate title. So all in favor of adjourning the public hearing regarding the current waterfront development district to November 17th, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Great. All right, let's do reports. I will go last, if that's okay, but I will talk about food and prison visit and Veterans Day, just so folks know.
Oh, good. I was going to ask what the plans were for Veterans Day.
Yeah. So.
I'll take that off my list. Thank you.
All right. Where should we start? Jeff, you want to start up? Oh, no, Molly.
What about me?
I confused you with the city attorney. You're sitting where he sits.
I guess that's
Maybe
a
you get to go
compliment.
last.
I'm
Why do you always
professional.
get to go first?
That's true.
All right. Fine. Let's do this. Let's start with Amber and work our way around this way. Just to punish her.
I don't even have anything that like amazing, so no, I'm sorry I said anything. I did also, as Teresa mentioned, just want to thank Chief Lucchese. I think his actions this week just exemplify the kind of person that he is. I think we're so lucky to have him here in Beacon, and I just appreciate everything that he does, even outside of the city of Beacon. So many thanks. I'm sure Chris maybe will talk about that a little bit more, but I did want to publicly express that. And the other thing is that if the squirrels have not already eaten your Halloween pumpkins, you can take them over to the Recreation Center on West Center Street. There is a place to leave them for composting. It's very near to the compost bins. You'll see the bins and the sign that says compost here in the parking lot. And then there's a nicely dedicated space for pumpkin. So bring those over there if you don't compost them on your own or the squirrels haven't eaten them all. And that was all I had.
Jeff.
Thanks. Just a request, I guess, for agenda discussions, maybe at our workshop, on the communications efforts that we're doing. It'd be good to talk about the timeline for the newsletter. Curious how that's going, if there's any needs for that, any questions that we can address. I volunteered last time that I did draft up for the next survey, questions that would be used for a good kickoff, as part of the planning process for the comprehensive plan, but that might be very early, so I'd love an update on just where the thoughts are. It's never too early to plan. So I think just for the council and the public's benefit, it'd be great to start talking about what the comprehensive planning process will look like.
Great. Thank you, Jeff.
A plug for elections that are taking place. Tomorrow is Election Day, so if you have yet to vote and if you are already a registered voter, the date has passed, we can no longer register to vote, but if you are a registered voter and you live in the city of Beacon, you can actually go to any of our 3 polling sites that'll be open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. tomorrow, and those are Rombout Middle School, South Avenue Elementary School, or the VFW Memorial Building on Main Street. So I hope for those of you who are registered, you do take time out of your day if you can to make sure that your voice is heard. I also want to thank everyone who participated in our very blustery but still successful Halloween on Friday, including those who offered candy and took around community members and their own family, and also our police department for keeping everyone safe. So it seemed like a successful night for all, and I will pass it to George.
Caught me off guard.
I know. We're shaking things up a bit tonight.
Fortunately, everyone has already announced the things that I was prepared to announce. But I too would like to thank our fire chief, for bravery above and beyond. So thank you. I think you averted a significant catastrophe there. So thank you, Chief. That's it.
Okay, everybody, yeah. I just have one thing that nobody covered that I wanted to ask about. I know after last week's meeting, I'm wondering if we could get a scope of the county study on the pedestrians, because I realized it's like we were talking pedestrians, sidewalks. And I also wanted to double check if this included the ADA compliant within the city with the sidewalks and pedestrians. I'm hoping that is incorporated into it, and that I really would like to see, I feel like the bikes go along with that. If it could be looked at, the bike study, if that could be incorporated or done side by side, and working to try to complement each other. I think they do all live together. Someone who has disabilities, pedestrians, and bikes within this city to compete with the vehicles.
Okay. I'm sure, Chris, you can give us a little bit
And
of an
of
update
course,
there.
Chief Lucchese,
Yeah.
amazing. You know, you always read after a wrong-way driver what happens, and you would never have believed that our fire chief did that, so thank you so much.
Agreed with everything that Pam just said. And I will add, one of our public commenters mentioned the legislation that the state legislature is considering around revising requirements for municipalities around rent stabilization. I don't know that this is urgent, but I would be interested in the council at some point taking a look at that legislation and deciding if we want to pass a resolution in support of it. In my reading of it, I think that it would be in the best interest of the city to do so, but would recognize the rest of council would need to take a look themselves. And otherwise, I'm resuming my monthly office hours through the end of the year on the second Sunday of the month from 4 to 6 p.m. That means this coming Sunday, November 9th, and Sunday, December 14th, and I will be returning to Trax Coffee House at 2 East Main. And that's it for me.
Okay. Thank you all. We should start up a routine where the person who speaks can pick the next person, right? We'll have some fun. Anyway.
We're getting wild next year.
I know. So first, Veterans Day is November 11th. There is a ceremony at 11 a.m., and I'm sure at 11:11 will be the highlight there. It will be at the Memorial Building, as usual, and so that is on the 11th is a Wednesday or Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay. So it's on Tuesday, November 11th at 11 a.m. Second, I just want to provide the council an update. I had the opportunity to get a tour of the Fishkill Correctional Facility a couple of years ago. I remember coming back to council and describing that to you. And having never been, it was just, I just didn't know what to expect. So it was actually very enlightening. And it was a part of a program that the Department of Corrections has from a directive from the head of the agency to do public tours. And I thought it was really good. I encouraged council members at the time who might be interested. This year, I've got a couple of council members who have expressed interest. I'm in ongoing emails with the superintendent or their first deputy, and I will be consulted when they next arrange their visit. And if someone wants to go, you're welcome to let me know. I've also said the same to the supervisor of the town of Fishkill, because I think it's really useful for community members to attend. They have limits, they're supposed to do, I think, at least one a year, at least as I understand the directive, but I think there will be opportunities for us to visit. The city administrator may wish to go, we may have others who wish to go, but I just wanted to let that, folks know that. The superintendent seems very open to, having it, and has said that, when they arrange the next one, I'll be consulted, and I'm happy to relay any names of people who are interested. Okay. Then lastly, I just want to talk about food security. Maybe. There it is. So on Wednesday last week, observing the uncertainty around the SNAP food stamp program, I tasked staff at the city to develop as quickly as possible a plan to partner with local grocers to provide easily used food cards or certificates to our residents whose critical SNAP funding might be interrupted. At the time that we started, we had not heard from the county, the state, or the federal government. We have heard some things since then, but I don't think that alters the immediate need to do something. This will be a one-time distribution to help mitigate the uncertainty in this particular start of the month. The federal program has expired. The county has now spoken. They're going to do something through food banks, the large regional food banks. The state is doing something, but it's not clear how distribution will occur. And then we've also heard that the federal government will be doing a partial financing of the SNAP program in the month. Having said all that, I do believe that the program that we have set up is important for right now. It is temporary only. It will start up on Thursday. Let me just add a couple things. We're glad for the county, state, and federal roles, but in Beacon, what we asked was to, across our departments, to get a working group together to come up with a thoughtful, controlled plan with clear criteria and tracking. And we arranged partnerships with Key Food Marketplace, the Beacon Natural Market, and the Beacon Farmers Market, each of whom also contributed to the program by discounting the rates at which we would pay for cards or certificates. This is allowing us to make our funding go further in supporting our needy resident families. I just want to thank each of these organizations for being willing and community-minded partners in making this program happen. Distributions will begin this Thursday, November 6th. As you recall, tomorrow is Election Day. The city offices will be closed that day. We will reopen it Wednesday and do our final preparations. So this will begin Thursday the 6th. It will be at the city's recreation center at 23 West Center Street. We will do outreach to notify people online, as well as physical flyers at the city's larger low-income housing developments. A schedule for evening and weekend distribution hours will also be posted online. The only requirements, because I'm asking that it be controlled and well monitored, the requirements we'll be asking for to receive a card will be a photo ID, proof of residency, such as a piece of current mail, and a SNAP card. And we will record those as part of the process. While the city cannot take on the role of funding this program long-term, I can assure you we can't afford this for any length of time. I think we're fortunate to be in a position that we can do something in the meantime to make a real difference to our residents who rely on this money. I'll be asking the council this night to allocate up to $50,000 to purchase an appropriate number of discounted certificates or cards to help finance the gap. I just want to thank the council for considering this incredibly important budget amendment that I'm proposing tonight. And then I'll turn it over to Chris if you're going to provide us with some details on that and other things. All right?
More details on that. What additional details?
I think did I cover it?
Well, sorry, just for clarification, are we moving into our resolutions or?
I think I'm doing just a report quick, and then, so we are finishing paving for the year, as you heard. Iris Circle will be finished tomorrow, and again, we have to think about where, when we put down new asphalt, people can't even get in there for some period of hours. So we have to think about where they're all going to park. So that is part of our staging. We did finish South Brett, South Beacon Street, South Walnut, and South Elm today. Once we're done with Iris Circle tomorrow, we're going to be turning towards bulk leaf cleanup. I know everybody's excited for that. You can make big piles of leaves, and you don't have to put them in bags, and our vac truck will be coming around the city. We'll be posting on our website, beaconny.gov, our quadrant map of the city, and showing when we expect to be in the area. But you can begin putting your leaves out, and we will be picking them up starting at the end of the week. And I sent around the draft scope of the final scope of the pedestrian study that the DCTC sent me late last week. Yes.
Okay.
And I think that's all the, did you have one other question?
I was just going to ask if the bulk leaves, if that could also be put on the Facebook page.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be doing that. And then we will be doing a full campaign to highlight the beginning of the program on Thursday. We've already talked to the Beacon Housing Authority about helping us to get flyers out to both of their facilities, and we'll be doing similarly with some of the other subsidized housing units where we think the interest will be high. These are, we'll talk about it when the resolution comes up on more details. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all. Let's do resolutions, and the first one is an amendment to the 2025 budget.
Motion.
Okay, so I've got Amber and Paloma. And Chris, you want to take us through what's in the amendment?
Sure. So what we put together over the last week quickly was a plan to offer local grocer cards. So someone who's on SNAP can come and get a $50 grocery card for Key Food Marketplace, a $50 gift certificate for the Beacon Natural Market, or $60 in coupons for the farmers market. And we did a little bit more for the farmers market because of the narrow hours and the little bit higher cost point. But all three entities have worked with us to give us a substantial discount. Right now, based on county data, we think there are 640 eligible households. In some of the households, you actually could have more than one recipient, particularly if you have intergenerational families living together. So we'll see how that goes. We're going to be doing distributions at the rec center all day Thursday and Friday, as well as Thursday night, Friday night, and most of the day Saturday. And then we'll see how that goes, and we'll announce updates to the schedule on our website. And again, I want to thank all of the grocers that we reached out to were right there, and just amazing to work with.
I wanted to, well, first of all, thank the city, everybody who worked on pulling this together, and the mayor for the proposal. I'm very supportive of providing some assistance to the community as things evolve on the situation. I also really like the idea of just giving people a gift card so that they can do what they need to do, that we're not restricting that too much, and that we're supporting our Beacon businesses as they're supporting us. The one question that I had, or as they're supporting the community, you mentioned some of the flyers that will be going up. Are we able to do any translations that we can have them in English, Spanish, any other languages that the housing authorities might advise us on?
Yeah, I think we can do that. We'll do a double Spanish-English, because that's the primary.
Okay, thank you.
That's a great idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we're still formulating, so we'll take ideas.
We have a lot of work to do on Wednesday.
Yeah, I agree. The multilingual flyers is really important. I also know that in addition to housing section on the city website, there is sort of a beta version of a food resources section. I'm not sure if there's a timeline on updating that section, but that might be a helpful resource. So
we're updating that right now, and we hope to have it done on Wednesday. We're actually, with the card, going to give out a sheet showing all of the food distributions and pantries.
Okay.
Actually, we ended up with 5 pages of resources, and we're trying to boil it down because it was a little,
yeah, I know,
little too far afield.
I got some feedback. I know the library is doing a similar thing, and will I'll forward along their list of resources.
Yeah, and the county had done similarly, so it was just, we went through and we actually called and confirmed to make sure that we're not giving people false
outdated
leads.
Advice. Yeah, there are a lot of Beacon-specific resources.
Yeah,
that
we'll
are
have
available.
a handout to go with that.
That's great. Thank you.
Yep, the only couple of things I would add is the county did an emergency meeting on Friday.
Yeah.
Friday morning, and they've allocated, they're a much bigger entity.
$150,000.
$150,000 per week for up to 10 weeks.
Yeah.
And they are directing funding to the regional food banks, is that right?
Yes.
and they may run a vehicle as well?
No, we're looking at a vehicle.
Okay.
That, we have also applied to have mobile food pantries from the Hudson Valley Food Bank.
Right, and the county is the agency, that is the level of government that operates the SNAP program, and so they're kind of in the best position to know who are the recipients, where are they by distribution. A City of Beacon is a little bit more than 5% of the total community in the county that are in the SNAP program, which is a little bit higher than our population, but not by a lot. The state has allocated, do you know the dollar amount that they're working on? I don't either, but I think it's certainly in the millions of dollars. We don't know how that's going to translate. I'm sure we'll learn more of that in the next few days. Presumably it will translate down to the county level because that's where distribution occurs. I'm not sure, and we'll learn more. The other thing we were informed by the county meeting was one needs to be cautious about distributions of cash to recipients because it affects the calculation of their benefits if they are recurring. So this is clearly a one-time program.
Yeah, it would be, I really appreciate you setting this up, sort of all the yous who are involved in this, you, Chris, and Lee, and Ben, and I assume Mark Price and his team as well. It would be great if the council could get, and it sounds like you're going to be keeping track of these, just the numbers of go out, just kind of who's, not necessarily, no other details than that, but just the quantity of Beacon residents who are using this program, and obviously if there's any other updates that you think are relevant, bringing to the council, and any other thing we can do, even if doing more than a one-time benefit might not be the best idea, both for our taxpayers, but also for the recipients as well, given other restrictions around the programming. So thank you for this.
Okay.
Just one question I have is curiosity. I really appreciate the effort that went into this. I'm sure some really good planning, but I'm just curious about the impact, the interaction, feedback, coordination, or just thoughts on local organizations that are focused on doing food support and distribution. I mean, were they figured into this? Was there a discussion with them in terms of trying to ensure that we're having the greatest bang for the investment?
No.
Only that, our view was a direct transfer struck us as the quickest because we were under an immense time constraint and also the most controlled. Right.
So we developed a program that we feel confident we can track so that we know that we essentially have these instruments that are cash. We're going to treat them like cash. There are internal controls on everything. And again, I think to Amber's point, we wanted to get assistance to people that they could use and decide what they want. If you want to go and get stuff for the holidays, that's great. This is only a patch. $50 isn't going to go far. And the reality that Lee and I heard is even if they do pay SNAP benefits in November, it's likely to only be a portion of it because the contingency is in the $5 billion range and the cost for the month is $8 billion. So again, this is just a patch and the federal government needs to step up and do maintain its commitment to people.
They're saying 50%.
Yeah, that's what we heard as well.
Yeah.
And, we're getting updates all the time. But again, our 2 cents was we're a stopgap and we don't want to alter the distribution process. We just want it, if you currently get a reload of your SNAP card, we want to get in their wallet the same way so that they're not altering how they're doing purchases or where they're going or what additional things they have to do.
And we did look at WIC, but WIC is still being funded. We do have some federal workers who are out of work, but it was easiest just to say, for eligibility, SNAP card, Beacon resident.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Everybody
we
good?
need a vote.
So this is a proposal to transfer $50,000 for food assistance from the council planning studies budget. Everybody okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
And again, we decided to ask for 50. We may not use it all. Right.
And just for anyone listening, because we've been talking about this budget for the 2026 budget, but this is 2025
This
money
is 25.
that we'll be transferring.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. Okay. Any other discussion? All right, so all in favor of transferring $50,000 from City Council Planning Studies to Food Assistance Community Outreach, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, thank you so much. And we still have, as Chris said, lots to do.
And I just want to thank Heidi Harrison and Martha Welnowski, who were also on the committee, along with Susan Tucker, who's making sure we do this all correctly.
Many thanks.
Yep. Yeah. Good. Okay. The next one is a resolution. There's 4 of them coming, one after the other. They're all bond authorization resolutions. So the first one is for the issuance of bonds for the reconstruction of city sewer facilities. And that dollar amount is?
That dollar amount is 5. Hang on a second.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry, I don't have it here. I'll get the.
Sewer is $730,000.
730. So these 4 are all coming out of the finance plan that the council passed back over the summer, and we just are getting ready to do a bond.
Mhm.
So Susan wanted to make sure that we had those authorizations in place. This first one is $330,000 for the concentration tank refurbishing, the weir and the collection system replacement, and $400,000 for the Monell pump station.
A question for Nick, before I potentially make a motion. Is it permissible to handle these bond resolutions as a consent agenda and do one vote on all 4?
It is, yes, and in that case, the city clerk would then be directed to indicate that all 4 that be voted on separately, but as a consent agenda item.
I would make a motion to bundle these into a consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, so this is on a vote to group these 4 resolutions into a
Yes.
consent agenda. So all in
Right.
favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Nick, will you let us, or Chris, let us know the dollar amounts for each of the 4 items?
Yes. So Resolution 104, the construction of the Mount Beacon water tank is $1.6 million. Resolution 105, for the purchase of the vac truck, the vacuum truck, is $670,000. Resolution 106, the bond issuance for highway department equipment, there's 3 pieces of equipment, and they total $588,000, and that's for a skid steer, a front-end loader, and a street sweeper.
3588, $3.58 million, $3.59 million rounding. I got that right?
I don't think that matters.
Okay.
I think you're being a math nerd again. You need to stop being a math nerd.
Okay. Do we have a motion to adopt all 4 of these in a consent agenda?
Motion to adopt these as a consent agenda.
Second.
All right, and this
Paloma.
refers to resolutions 103, 4, 5, and 6. All right, any discussion?
I just love our vacuum truck.
Mhm.
That's
You
all
wanna-
I have to say about that.
You want to borrow
Should
it?
we have a naming competition for the new vacuum truck?
Oh.
Could we do that?
Absolutely.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Veronica.
It's
Bring
my
it on.
favorite vehicle the city owns.
Snuffleupagus.
All right. Motion that we'll have a naming competition with Paloma being one of the primary judges.
All right, so
about
that
one of the
motion is out of
names?
order. There's one on the table, unless you want to make an amendment to the motion.
No, I'm
Okay.
just kidding. But I do want to see
Send
that
Paloma
happen.
to suck up all this.
All right.
This could backfire.
Yeah, this could get weird.
All right, so on this consent agenda are resolutions 103, 4, 5, and 6, all about bond issuances for various facilities. You've heard the numbers. All in favor of approving that, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. I look to Councilmember Rhodes for a
Now we
motion
have a couple more
regarding
of
the
these.
minutes of October 20th.
Motion to approve the minutes of October 27th, 2020? No, October 20th, 2020, 2025.
All right.
Second.
Any additions, correction, changes?
Yes, though I felt her in spirit, I don't believe Paloma Wake was actually with us for that voting meeting, and in fact, the rest of the minutes reflect that we had 6 people present, not 7.
All right.
Okay.
Good
Can we
catch.
make that correction? Ben, you got that? He
I
said
wish
yes.
I'd been there.
You
But I
were
was
there in
not.
spirit.
I suppose, thank you.
All right. So all in favor of approving the minutes of October 20th
As amended.
With
Proposed.
with this correction?
With this correction.
Not requiring an amendment, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, this is the second opportunity for public comment. Please come up and make your comments. Welcome. It's so nice to see you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Justice McCrae, and I live on Hannah Lane in Beacon, New York. And I just want to start off by saying thank you for taking the time to step in and help support our community when it comes to food access where our federal government isn't. And thank you for all of the work that you all are doing. I'm here today as the board chair of Beacon's Backyard, and the last time I was here, I was announcing our free breakfast program back in January, the launch of that. Since I've been here, we've served over 6,000 meals to folks in Beacon, and we do still continue to do a free breakfast on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 6:30 to 8:30 on 12 Hannah Lane. And I just want to make sure that everybody in the community is not only aware of that, but also appeal to let the city know that this is something that we're seeing is a need in our community. There are so many folks in our city that are food insecure and also are struggling to get by, and just the ability to provide a breakfast or a takeout lunch makes all the difference. And so if you're looking for ways to support, it would be amazing if, and I'm speaking not just to you as the council, but to folks in the general public, feel free to join us and volunteer. And we have a chef from the CIA that helps prepare all of our meals, but you can also come in and join and do a kitchen training as well, or just help serve the community, or donate to us. We run solely on donations. We are a 501c3, and we're just here to help and to build community. And you can't really build community on an empty stomach. But there are so many people in this community that have stepped up to make sure that we continue to be fed and that we continue to support each other. And I'm just so grateful to be a part of a community that rises in every sense. But yes, I just wanted to share a free breakfast program. And please, if you know anybody that is in need, let them know. We also have clothing racks, so if people have old clothes, coats especially, that they're not wearing anymore, they can donate them and have them reused. But yeah, I just wanted to share that this is an opportunity for folks to, if you're looking for ways to support your community, whether you donate or whether you volunteer, you don't have to step in at 5:30 in the morning like I do. We have shifts at different times, but this is something that we've been doing for several months now in the community, and we don't plan on stopping. And so any support that the city or any folks in Beacon can provide is greatly appreciated. And also, we're just happy to be here to support the community. And I would love for each and every one of you to come check it out. Free breakfast is open to anyone, no questions asked. So come by for breakfast.
And I know we don't normally ask questions, but I didn't hear what time breakfast was served.
It's served from 6:30 to 8:30, and
Thank
we
you.
do dine-in and takeout as well as takeout lunches. And we always have vegetarian and gluten-free options.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and it's great to see you. Okay. Anyone online? Ben?
Yes, Mayor, we have one hand raised online. That is Kara. Kara, you have permission to speak whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Kara Dinaseo. I'm from Ward 3. I'm a social worker, a mother, and founder of Fairground, Inc. I'm sharing information this evening about Fairground. We are neighbors, nourishing neighbors, collaborating to build a strong food safety net in the Hudson Valley. As a food access nonprofit, we celebrate food and community for all. I'm so grateful to have heard from Justice and Beacon Backyard. We're really grateful for all of our collaborators and everyone doing amazing work in the city. And I'm really grateful for you all who have approved the allocation of funds for people to receive gift cards, as approximately 18,000 Dutchess County residents have not received their SNAP benefits as of November 1st. It's devastating and disconcerting, and we all need to work together to support our neighbors who are worried and struggling. I'm urging our city and you all to consider supporting our organization and other organizations and programs who are committed to sharing more food with our community in the future. Unfortunately, our federal government does not seem to be prioritizing our neighbors who are struggling. Our goal is one of a thriving, interconnected Hudson Valley where everyone has access to nourishing food and a sense of belonging built through collaboration, compassion, and community-driven solutions. I'm also sharing an invitation for you all to join our community dinners every Friday at 50 Liberty Street here in Beacon. And to step up and to attend to what's happening in our community, we are hosting a last-minute distribution tomorrow at Fairground where people were asked to sign up, and we have 240 families coming tomorrow for this emergency distribution, and all of our appointment slots were filled within an hour of them going live. This is letting you know that this is a really, really serious and grave situation, and we're looking to you, the City of Beacon, and our neighbors to really work together with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The public announcements are really important. Thank you. Anyone else, Ben?
No other hands raised, Mayor.
Okay. So let me just announce the next meeting. It's a workshop. It'll be here on Monday, November 10th at 7 p.m. And remember, the 11th, the Tuesday, is the Veterans event at the Memorial Building at 11 a.m. I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
So Pam and Amber, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Thank you all and good night.